Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritam Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Guru Atmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Klishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vidyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Shamadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetrananapadabhaho Sahasranamam Stavanam Prashastam Niruchyate Janmajaradishantyai. Namaste once again to all of you.
Namaste, Guruji.
So we are seeing the answers being given by Bhishmacharya to the 6 questions of Yudhishthira. And in that, in the last class, we saw the 12th sloka, if I'm not wrong, isn't it? Which was the one we saw? Yeah, it was a very long. Adi Shankara gave two interpretations to that. We saw that sloka. I don't remember the number. Anyway, it doesn't matter since you have all been there. Giants.
Fourth question.
Sorry? Yeah, 12th sloka. Not 12th sloka, sorry.
Did we finish the 4th Bhashyam, Raghuji? I thought we finished the 4th Bhashyam, where Bhishmacharya speaks.
The sloka which we finished. You remember the name?
Yeah, I remember. Tameva Charchayan Nityam.
Tameva Charchayan Nityam, we finished. Okay.
We finished that.
Yeah. Right, that's what we saw.
Yes.
So now
and we have to do the Bhashyam, right?
Yeah, we have to do the Bhashyam also, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Bhashyam, he said that 2 meanings he gave, alternative meanings Adi Shankara gave. Bahya,
you're right.
One, Nityam, Sarveshu, Kaleshu, Bhaktir, Bhajanam, Tatparyam, Taya, all that we saw, right?
Yes.
So we finished. When we finished, I said, now the next question is answered. Somebody is not only unmute that, but also shouting with somebody. What to do? People are not very conscious of that. They are in a class and they are on the online. No, being broad, whatever they are doing, their sound is being broadcast to the whole world. Anyhow. So we said that Tritiyam Prashnam Pariharati Uttaraihi Tribihi Padaihi. That's where we stopped, I think. Yeah. So Adi Shankara is now saying that in the next 3 slokas, the third question of Yudhishthira is going to be answered. And what was the third question? Stuvantaha kam archantaha manavaha shubham prapnuyuhu. That was the third question. So this is now going to be answered very elaborately by Bhishmacharya. So we will read the sloka. Anadhinidhanam Vishnum sarvaloka maheshwaram lokadhyaksham stuvan nityam sarva dukkadigo bhavet. This is where the sarva dukkadigo bhavet Adi Shankara brought this from this sloka to the previous slokas also. So the essence of this sloka is by constantly praising Mahavishnu or Vishnu, who has no beginning and no end. Anadhi Nidhanam, right? That Vishnu. Who is the Lord of all the worlds, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the Lord of all the worlds. Lokadhyaksham, who is the witness, Adhyaksha of the entire universe. Like a king, he is sitting, witnessing everything that is going on in this world, which are under his control, under his command, right? Stuvan Nityam, that is constantly praising. One goes beyond sorrow, sarva dukkha, dukkadigo bhavet. This is the simple meaning of this sloka. So now let us see how Shankaracharya explains this sloka. I will read the bhashya. Anadi nidhanam shadbhava vikara varjitam Vishnum vyapana sheelam sarvam lokyate iti loko drishya vargo lokastasya niyantrinam brahmadhinamapi ishwaratva. Such an explanation is just giving for just Vishnu. Everything, the whole Advaita Vedanta is brought into this one word Vishnu. Sarvaloka Maheshwaraha tam lokam drishya vargam swabhavikena bodhena sakshat pashyati iti. That is the explanation. Then lokadyakshaha tam nityam nirantaram. Nityam means nirantaram. Stuvan sarva dukkadigo bhavet iti trayanam stavanarchana japanam sadharanam phalavachanam. Sarvani adhyatmikadini dukkhani atitya gacchati iti sarva dukkadigaha bhavet syat. This is the explanation. We have to now understand the details of this explanation, what Adi Shankara has given. So he starts with Anadhi Nidhanam word, and he explains it as Shat Bhava Vikara Varjitam. Anadhi means beginningless. Nidhanam means Marana, that is end. Right? So the Lord is Anadhi Nidhanam. He has neither Adi, neither a beginning, nor Nidhana, nor an end, which means he neither has any birth or death. Unlike all of us. All of us in the sense, all of our body-mind complexes. They have got a date of birth and date of death, but the Lord, Parameshwara, does not have a date of birth, date of death. Okay. So therefore, he is what? He is Anadi Karana. The cause who has no cause. We can say that he is Jagat Karanam because he is the cause for the entire world. But who is the Karanam for Bhagavan? There is no Karanam for Bhagavan. He is the causeless cause. Right? So Bhagavan is not an effect. Because if he had a cause, then Bhagavan will become an effect. But since there is no cause, Bhagavan is not an effect. Bhagavan is the cause. Only the Mula cause or the main cause. Okay. He is Sarva Karana, cause of everything. So beginning, as I said, it implies birth, and birth is an effect. Okay. End implies death. By saying that Parameshwara has no beginning and no end, that is, not only the birth and death are negated by this, but also whatever transformations happen between the birth and death, they are also negated. That's what he says, Shat Bhava Vikara Varjitam. Okay. Vikara means changes. Varjitam means devoid of. Shat Bhava, 6 types of changes. So Bhagavan or Parameshwara, Ishvara, not only does not have a birth or a death, but he also does not undergo the 6 changes which every being undergoes. Whether it is human being, any living being undergoes, including a tree plant undergoes these 6 changes. That is called in the Shastra Shadbhava Vikara. What are those 6 changes? They are Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyati. These are the 6 changes every human being, every living being undergoes. Asti means what? Comes into existence. It was not there before, it is conceived. A life is conceived, that is Asti. Because when the conception takes place, the life is not born, right? It doesn't come into the world. Wherever it is, whether it is in the egg or anywhere, water, like fish and all that, they have also got eggs, of course. So this Asti is the first stage of the Vikara. That is, comes into existence. Then what happens? Second stage, Jayate, born, delivered into this world in full form with all legs, hands, everything, eyes, ears. Born, second change. From a form which was there inside the egg, now it has come out, so that indicates a change, born into this world. So Asti Jayate. Then what? Vardhate, grows. Like everything, even plant, plant will sprout. First it will be in seed form, which will be under the earth. Then it will sprout, Jayate. Then it will grow, Vardhate. The human beings also grow, Vardhate. This will go on for some time, till one is about 35, 40 years, growth will take place. I'm talking about human beings. Different species have got different growth cycle, right? Then when you are around 50 years old, another change starts taking place. Apakshiyate. All this growth stops, and one by one, before Apakshiyate, we have got Viparinamate, right? So during the growth, Viparinama means further modifications takes place. Like for example, one may from a youth, from a childhood, one may become an adult. That is one Viparinama. During the phase of when the growth is taking place, this Viparinama, another change that happens. So like that, it goes on and on and on. And at some stage, say around 50 years or so, things starts deteriorating. The skin will start sagging, grow some, this thing under the eyes, some spots, things like that. Eyesight may start failing. Hearing may get into a problem. Hair will go. The hair which came during the growth stage will start going now. So all these changes will take place. They are all viparinimate and then apakshiyate. Apakshiyate means basically decay. What you can call losing its earlier stage. Decay, basically, right? Apakshiyate means you can call it declination. It declines. The body declines, right? The bones will start getting worn out. We will get all this, what they call the ladies and all, they get this osteoporosis kind of thing. Knee pain, back pain, all these pains will start. That is the apakshiyate stage. That will continue for some time, and then final stage is nashyati. That body will be no more there. It's that fellow is no more. So these are the 6 changes which the human body undergoes, or any body, any living thing undergoes these 6 changes. And you see a tree also, maybe some trees may be living to 200, 300, 400 years, possible. But they will also have the same process. That is what is the entire cosmos is about. Bhagavan does not have any of these changes. And the reason why Adi Shankara is emphasizing this is, if you say that he is Anadi Nidana, he doesn't have birth or death, then the next question will be, oh, that means he has all the Shad Vikaras or what? He may not have birth or death, but he has existence. Once you have existence, then you undergo all these changes. So, does he have all this? So, Adi Shankara is clarifying, not only birth and death he does not have, he does not undergo these Shad Vikaras. There is no change which happens in Parameshwara or Ishvara. That is what he is trying to indicate. Nirvikaraha. That is another definition given for Brahman. Nirvikaraha. Right? So this is what he says, and then he says Vishnu. And Vishnu, as I read, explains it very detailedly. First he says Vyapana Sheelam. The one who is all pervasive. Desha Vyapi, Kala Vyapi. Pervades all spaces and all time, past, present and future. That is Vyapana Sheelam. And the word Sheelam is very important because he is not that once in a while he pervades. That is his Swabhava. This Sheelam is used in the Sanskrit language to indicate a thing which a person routinely does. As a part of his activity, he does that routinely. So this Vyapana Sheelam means that what is a pervasiveness, that is Desha Vyapi and Kala Vyapi, that is his nature. So that is what he wants to bring out, that Parameshwara's nature is this all pervasiveness, not only in times of space, but also in terms of time. Okay. He is everywhere all the time. Bhagavan is there. And in the context of a Nirguna Brahman, I think we discussed Nirguna, Saguna, Brahman, isn't it? In the context of Nirguna Brahman, Vishnu means Sarvavyapi. And it is derived from the word Vish Vyapane, that says root. Vish Vyapane in Sanskrit, right? So Vishnu means Sarvavyapi, all pervasive. Sarvam Veveshti iti Vishnuhu. And in the context of Saguna Brahman, Vishnu means the Shankha Chakra Gadadhari. That is, this Sarvavyapi Vishnu in combination with Maya. He is the Saguna Brahman Vishnu. So whenever we are seeing the word Vishnu, we must understand that word in both these meanings. Well, unless we understand in both these meanings, the 1,000 names which will be following, we will not be able to exactly place whether a Saguna Brahman is being talked about or Nirguna Brahman is being talked about. Once we understand what is Nirguna Brahman, what is Saguna Brahman, then it becomes very easy for us to understand each of those 1,000 names. Put them in this category. Okay, here it is said, this is Saguna Brahman, this is Nirguna Brahman, this is Avatara. All that kind of classification we can do when we actually go through the 1,000 individual names. And then he says, Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Sarvaloka, all world, entire world. Maheshwara means the Lord. Right? Sarvam Lokyate iti Loka. Lokyate means that which is known and experienced by all of us is called Loka here. So that which is known and experienced by all of us, he is the Lord of all of that. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. If you remember, Adi Shankara interprets this word Loka depending upon the context. Earlier, he had interpreted this word Loka as Lokana Hetu Bhute Samasta Vidyasthane. We saw that in one of the earlier slokas. So there he interpreted the Loka as Shastra. Here he is interpreting Loka as the world which we experience, which we know and which we experience. That here the word, same word Loka is interpreting. Because as I told you, in Sanskrit, a particular word may have numerous meanings. You should know where to apply what meaning. Many of us will be confused, and that is why, many translations of our scriptures, they are misleading, because the people who are trying to translate directly by looking at the dictionary and all that, and many dictionaries may not contain all the meanings also. That is another issue. So what happens is they will pick up one meaning and translate, and that will not fit into the overall context, and confusion will arise. We will not be able to understand what exactly this fellow wants to say. And that is why our Gurujis and all that, our Gurus, they never advise us to study the translations. They always advise us to study the Bhashyam, learn from the Bhashyam that is authentic, coming from the mouth of, from the words of Adi Shankara himself. So that is what we are advised. So that's why even the word Loka, different contexts, he will actually interpret that word in a different way. And all meanings are applicable depending upon the context. Okay. So this entire world, including our body, mind, sense complex, is something we know and we experience, and he is the Parameshwara, he is the Lord of all of that. And then he uses a word, Sarvam Lokyate Drishya Vargaha. That is what he is expressed. Drishya Vargaha means what? Drishya in Vedanta denotes all that which is not Atma or Brahman. There is a very famous work which is written by Adi Shankara, Drik Drishya Viveka. Drik means the seer, the witness of this entire, and Drishya is everything other than the witness. And the witness is Brahman or Atma, the self. And Drishya is everything else other than the Drik. Drik means the seer or the Atma or Brahman. This is the definition of Drishyam in Vedanta. Drishyam literally means in simple Sanskrit that which is seen. But Vedanta actually, extends that meaning to say all that is experienced is Drishyam. Every object is a Drishyam. Because we experience, whatever we experience is an object. Whether it is a human being or whether it is a body-mind complex, also an object. That is Drishyam. So Drik is not experienced. Drik is what you are. The Drik experiences the Drishyam. That is how the Vedanta, the word Drishyam is says. So he says Drishya Vargaha. So for another meaning for the word Sarva Loka he gives means all objects in this world, leaving out nothing, all that we can experience, directly or indirectly experience. We can see, we can know, we can experience. That is Drishyam, Drishya Vargaha, right? And this includes all 14 lokas, 7 up, 7 down. Because we have not seen those lokas and all. We are in Bhuloka. Then there are 7 lokas, Bhu, Bhuva, Suva, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya Loka, 7 lokas. Then Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Patala, Talatala, Rasatala, like that, and the Patala lokas are the 7 lokas, 7 up, 7 down. 14 lokas Shastras talk about. And all these, each lokas are, what you can call, they are all levels of experiences. In each loka, the experience is different. And as per the Shastras, a human being, or for that matter, any living being, after the fall of the body-mind complex, will go to one of these lokas, either one of the 7 lokas up or 7 lokas down, depending upon his punya, papa, karma balances. So when we go there, also we will have experience of that particular loka. And all these, what experiences are there, then Puranas and all, they describe it very, very well rather. Interesting explanations are there. I won't go into all those things. But they are all what you can call spheres of experience. So when you are talking about Sarva Loka, Adi Shankara says you have to take into account all these 14 lokas also. He is the Lord of all the 14 lokas, not just this Bhuloka. He is the Lord of all these 14 lokas, spheres of experience. Because every loka has got its own controller, what he called Niyantrina. The Adhyaksha, you can call it. Every loka has got its own commander-in-chief. Right? Ishvara, rulers, you can call it. Brahma Loka, Brahmaji is the leader. Indra Loka, Indra is leader. Varuna Loka, Varuna is the leader. So similarly, different lokas, different devatas are there as leaders. Pitru Loka, Yamaraja is the leader. And he says here, लोका है तस्य नियंत्रणम ब्रह्मादीनाम अपि. So Brahmadina means Brahma, etc. So starting from Brahma Loka, Brahmaji, the four-headed Brahmaji, starting from him, all the controllers of their respective lokas. Ishvara, Parameshwara is the super controller. He controls every controller. It is just like he is the prime minister, cabinet. He controls the entire cabinet, like that. He's the prime minister. And Brahman is like the president of India. Blesses all these people. Himself doesn't do much. Gives blessing. Authority is with the president. Everything that these lokas, these adhyakshas do, these Brahmadhinam adhyakshas do, is deriving the authority or deriving the blessing from that Brahman only, who is like a president of India, constitutional head. So that is what we have to understand. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. That is what Adi Shankara explains, right? Sarva Loka Maheshwara Tam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Second case for Sanskrit students. So, being the ruler of all the lokas, he also rule over all the rulers of these lokas. That is why he is called Sarva Loka Maheshwara, right? Super boss. All others are just there for maintaining the law and order. Ishvara's order has been maintained, is being maintained by all the others. But he is the one who is actually giving out the law, this law and order. Right? So Maha Ishvara, the highest Lord, okay, highest ruler. And he is also Loka Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha here means the witness. So it is not that he has given, delegated his powers to everybody. Okay, you look after everything. I am now going to sleep. No. He won't do that. He is Loka Adhyaksha. He is witnessing that everything is going on as per the order. He has to make sure, satisfy himself that there is nobody doing something hanky-panky with his order, which he has set up in this entire 14 lokas, this, that, all these orders which we have seen, astronomical order, astrological order, psychological order, biological order, all are orders. Gravity is an order, centrifugal force, centripetal force, all are within Ishvara's order. They all work as Ishvara commands. So he is Lokadhyaksha, he is a witness, he keeps an eye on everything. He knows what exactly is going on. And whenever something goes wrong, he has got his own set of solutions. Isn't it? When something is gravely going wrong, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He will take avatara and come and set it right himself, because he has been witnessing what is going on. Adharma is increasing. All these human beings are fighting with each other. Now everybody has lost faith in dharma. So the whole order he has set up for the purposes of what? Sustenance of dharma. Dharayate iti dharma, that which sustains this entire world. Sarva loka is dharma only. And when that dharma is attacked by all these people because of their own selfish ends, Ishvara will take avatara and come and set it right, bring the dharma back. So this is the whole system of Ishvara. That is how he maintains control over everything. So he is Lokadhyaksha, keeps a keen eye. He has got his own intelligent network, like our countries and all have. He knows what is going on. We can't think. No, many people think nobody is seeing. Let me see. Let me do this. After who is going to know? There is nobody here. But we must always remember. Even in our childhood, we were told, Bhagavan is seeing everything. Never do anything wrong, because even though no other people may be seeing, Bhagavan is always seeing what you are doing. So that is the dharmic way of life we have been exposed to right from childhood. And that is what we have been following. Initially, it may be a threat. It may appear to be a threat that parents are saying that don't do anything wrong. Bhagavan is seeing, Bhagavan is seeing. We may even start hating Bhagavan. Oh, this Bhagavan is seeing everything that I am doing, not allowing me freedom. I've got a democratic freedom to do anything that I want without anybody questioning me. But this Bhagavan doesn't allow me to do that. But when we grow up like that, we start looking at that Bhagavan to be a witness for whatever we are doing and correct us when we are doing something wrong, so that we are able to lead a dharmic life. If dharmic life is your goal in life, which according to Shastra, that should be the goal. Any other type of life should not be the goal, because that will not lead you to moksha. Only a dharmic life will take you to moksha path. So he is Lokadhyakshaya, he is witnessing everything that is going on. Right? So there also Lokam Drishya Vargam Swabhavikena Bodhena Sakshat Pashyati. All this what I've explained is saying in Sanskrit rather. Right? Swabhavikena Bodhena means the knowledge of whatever is going on in this world exists in him by nature. It is not that to witness this, whatever is going on, he has to put in any effort. Not that. Because he is Sarva Vyapi, he is there in all place, he is all pervasive, both in terms of space and time. He is everywhere. So whatever happens anywhere, he is a witness to that by his nature, not that he has got some 2 pair of eyes or 1,000 pairs of eyes. We are not talking about Sahasraksha, Sahasra Shirsha, Sahasraksha. That is Purusha Suktam. In one way, we can, when we interpret Purusha Suktam, we will say all eyes are Bhagavan's eyes only. So that is another way of understanding how Bhagavan sees everything. He is everywhere. Your eyes, Bhagavan eyes, my eyes, Bhagavan eyes. So when I am seeing something, it is Bhagavan who is seeing. That is another way we can understand that, right? So Swabhavikena Bodhena means the one who gets the knowledge of everything by his, as his very own nature. Swabhava, as a Swabhava. Okay. And that refers to pure consciousness. When Adi Shankara is using this word, Swabhavikena Bodhena, knowledge as its very nature, what is that knowledge? Where does it reside? It is referring to the Chit Amsham of Sachidananda, pure consciousness. So that is what we have to understand, that this knowledge, whatever we have, is only a part of the knowledge which exists in the universe as a consciousness, as a principle of consciousness. In fact, in Taittiriya Upanishad, these 3 aspects, Sat, Chit and Ananda, are explained as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Sat means Satyam, pure existence, absolute reality. Chit means consciousness, which is equal to Jnanam, pure consciousness, which is pure knowledge, the knowledge principle, not knowledge of anything, any object, the knowledge principle. Then Ananda, Satchidananda and Ananda is explained as Anantam, limitlessness. Because once you understand the limitlessness of your own nature, then only you will understand what is that pure joy is, pure Ananda is. So that aspect he is bringing in here. When he says Swabhavikena Bodhena, he is actually referring to the Chit aspect, which is the Jnanam aspect, the knowledge, pure knowledge principle. That's what he says. So, by his very own nature, the Bhagavan, who is Sarvavyapi, is aware, he is the witness to everything that is going on in all these 14 lokas at any point in time. Right? Adhyaksha generally means a leader. But what does a leader do? A good leader is one who is keep a very keen eye on all the followers so that everything is going on as per his plans. Isn't it? So that is how we have to understand. Adhyaksha means a witness. That's the interpretation Adi Shankara takes, a witness. So from this, we have to understand that knowledge, whenever we talk about knowledge, that knowledge is of two types. One is a natural knowledge, another is an acquired or a cultivated knowledge, you can call it, right? And pure consciousness is here referred to as Swabhavika Bodha, the Chit aspect of Ishvara, and the acquired knowledge is the second type of knowledge. We have to understand. For that, there are certain preconditions. For this pure consciousness, no preconditions, because that is the very nature, Swabhava. But to acquire knowledge, certain preconditions are there, right? First of all, there must be a capability to acquire that knowledge. Human beings have got maximum of that capability to acquire. Whether they acquire or not is a different question. They have the inbuilt instrument to acquire knowledge, right? The knowing capacity is there. And this capacity, from where we get this capacity, we are getting it as a part of the Swabhava of Ishvara. So, Ishvara's Swarupa becomes our Swarupa. And because of that, we get this capacity to gain the knowledge of all this objective world. It's the same principle which I think I explained a couple of classes ago. Why do we feel happy? Whenever some good thing happens to us, we feel happy. Suppose a friend whom we have not met for a long time, very close friend, childhood friend, we see him or her, we feel very happy. From where the happiness come? That we have to understand the process which which we undergo or which happens for this happiness to come. We think that the happiness is all there in all these various objects and things like that, or in other beings, relatives and all. But actually, that happiness is our Swabhava. Ananda is our nature. And that Ananda surfaces whenever we have contentment. Purnatvam, when we have, that Ananda surfaces. That's all. But what happens is, if that Purnatvam continues, then we will have continued Ananda. But in our case, what happens? The Purnatvam is there for some time, then it becomes Apurnatvam. We immediately start looking at what we don't have instead of looking at what we have. So this all I think I explained in a few classes. Similarly, this pure knowledge principle is there as our Swabhava, as a Chit consciousness. And that is what surfaces when we acquire knowledge. It is that Swabhava, that nature which helps us to use our capacity to gain knowledge. So this is something which we have to understand, that everything that is happening is nothing owned by us. Everything is coming to us from Ishvara only. Yeah. Similarly, our existence also, Sat aspect. Ishwaras, that's our Swabhava, our nature, pure existence. Because of that pure existence, pervading our body-mind complex, this body-mind complex is existing. So we have to understand this, these are all Vedanta aspects rather, which slowly Adi Shankara is bringing into the interpretation of these slokas, right? So they are all our inherent nature, Sat, Chit, Ananda, all inherent nature, right? So Sakshat Pashyati, he directly witnesses this entire world, happenings in the world. So Sakshi of this entire world, rather. Okay. So that is what he says, Sarva Loka Maheshwara Lokadyaksha, right? So because of this Chaitanyam, this nature being Chaitanyam, consciousness, pure consciousness, as I said, it's all pervading, he is able to witness everything. And we can actually relate to our own, experience also. He doesn't need to do anything. He just being present, there is an order. How many of us, when we grew up, we had a strict father who used to go to the office in the morning at 9 o'clock or whatever it is, come back in the evening around 7 o'clock. Between this time, 9 and 7, we have gone to the school and then, we will have, we will come back at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Before father comes, there will be chaos in the house. All children will do whatever they want to do. Even the mother will be, she will be witnessing everything, but she will not interfere. But come 7 o'clock, the whole house will be in proper order. Why? Father would have come. Father would not do anything. He will not even look at anybody. His mere presence, the whole house will fall in order. Of course, this is our generation. This generation and all, nobody bothers. Different story. I can't give this example to in respect of the current generation. Here the reverse is there. When the children come home, the parents have to behave in order rather. That is the current generation. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, like in an office, school, all children will be playing around in the classroom. The moment teacher enters, whole class will be totally disciplined. In fact, they will say, one boy will be given the duty, boy or girl, to watch whether the teacher is coming or not from in the corridor. The moment that he sees the face of the teacher in the end of the corridor, he will announce, hey, teacher is coming, teacher is coming. The whole class will be like as if it is proper order, very disciplined. Teacher is not even come. He will come and see, oh, very nice students. That's what the feeling he will have. He does not know. He may know, but he will not pay attention to what was happening 5 minutes ago. Similarly, when this Chit consciousness pervades this entire world, by the mere presence, everything works properly. That is what he is saying here. Lokadyaksha. So we must not imagine the Lokadyaksha means he is sitting like a controller somewhere with a whip in his hand and all. No, that is not that. That is not what is meant here. In fact, I remember my marriage function. Many marriages and all that, these days, all this, many, not all, let me put it still better, some priests, they will actually skip a lot of mantras and things like that because they know nobody knows anything. So they will just skip and then make it fast. A marriage function which is supposed to last for 3 hours, they will finish it in 1.5 hours by skipping so many things. But in my marriage, it was done for 3.5 hours. The reason being, my wife's grandfather, who was almost 89 years old, very well versed in Shastras and all, he was sitting near the mandap with a chair because he couldn't sit on the floor. He was sitting, old man sitting there in the chair and watching. He didn't open his mouth. But the priests knew that this fellow knows everything. So they performed everything perfectly. He didn't say anything. And that was really for me an example of what is Lokadhyaksha means. What is this? By mere presence, one can control what is going on. You don't need to do anything, take any action. Right? So this Chaitanya Swarupa Ishvara blesses this entire world by his mere presence, and that is what is meant by Swabhavikena Bodhena Sakshat Pashyati. So Lokadhyaksha also we have seen. Stuvan, next one. Stuvan means always praising this Vishnu who we are talking about. We can take it both as Saguna Brahman and Nirguna Brahman Vishnu. We can apply the same terminology to both. Okay. Only our understanding, we must be clear what we are referring to. And we have seen this word Stuvan, Gunan Sankirtayan Kurvan, right? Stuti, Vachika Karma, all that we have seen. So here when he is saying Stuvan, we should understand both mental and physical activities are involved in this Stuvan. Nityam, he says Nirantaram, always, regularly, consistently, all these meanings can bring. And anything that we say about Ishvara, any glory that we sing about Ishvara, it will always fall short of his real glory. Because we are limited. We, in the sense, our body, mind, sense complex is a limited entity. Our imagination can go only up to a certain level. We can only sing the glories what we see. We cannot sing the glories of Ishvara which we don't see. In fact, Purusha Suktam says, Sahasra Shirisha Purusha hai, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva, Atyatishtat Dashangulam. What we are seeing, witnessing of Ishvara is only 1/10 of what Ishvara is. So we can only praise or sing the glories of Ishvara to that 1/10 part only which we can experience, provided we are able to gain the whole experience. So what it is like the tip of the iceberg, they say, you know. It's only the tip of Ishvara we know now from our experience, from our transactions and all. Real Ishvara, to imagine what is that Ishvara and his power is very difficult. So whenever we are singing the glories, we are singing the glories to the extent that our capability allows us to sing those glories, right? And whenever we are uttering any name of Ishvara, that name also we are able to utter because of his grace only, isn't it? So all these things, you know, we have to understand. As I said, I continuously say, Ishvara is not something to be believed, Ishvara is something to be understood. And for understanding Ishvara, we have got Shastras. We have got mantras after mantras. What Ishvara is. People who have understood, who have seen Ishvara in their meditative state, Rishis, seers, Munis, they have given us all these Shastras as coming directly from Ishvara. Because Ishvara revealed himself fully to them. They have seen the complete Ishvara. And that is why they have given us this Purusha Suktam and all that, you know, to describe that Ishvara, what he is. So we have to study all the Shastras to discover that Ishvara, understand that Ishvara, know that Ishvara. So then he says, Tam Nityam Stuvan Sarva Dukkadigo Bhave. So by praising him always, Nirantaram, one crosses all dukkhas or all sorrows. And then he actually very nicely adds, Trayanam Savanarchana Japanam Sadharanam Phalavachanam Sarvani adhyatmikadini dukkhani atitya gacchati iti sarva dukkadigo bhave. Very beautifully he has brought in what is this dukkham we are talking about. We all say dukkham, dukkham, sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. What are these types of dukkham? He brings that, and we have a discussion on that. What are these three types of dukkhas? He says, generally speaking, sarva dukkadigo bhavet, you can understand. Crosses all sorrows, or crosses over all sorrows. Sadharana phalavachana. But he is now trying to expound that sarva dukkha. What is sarva dukkha? So he says, Trayanam, Stavanarchana, Japanam, all these Stavanam, Archanam, and Japam, which was asked by Yudhishthira, and we have seen the meanings of all these things. Bhishma says that the result, the general result of all these, doing all these Stavanam, Archanam, and Japam is Sarva Dukkadigo Bhavet. That's what Bhishma says. This is Sadharana Phalavachana, the general phalam. Of course, there are Vishesha phalams also which are given in the Phalashruti. Right? In the later portion, we will see Vedantako Brahmana Syat, Kshatriyo Vijayi Bhavet, Vaishyo Dhana Samruddha Syat, Shudra Sukham Avapnuyat. All these Vishesha phalam is talked about in the Phalashruti. But here, Bhishmacharya is generally talking about the general phalam, all sorrows he will cross over. Now, Adi Shankara adds a dimension to this. Sarvani adhyatmikadini dukkhani atitya gacchati. Atitya means gacchati. All the dukkha's, he says, adhyatmikadini. Adhyatmika adini means plural. Adhyatmika, etc. What are they? In the Shastras, all our sorrows or miseries or dukkhas are classified into three. Many of you may know it, but we'll still understand what it is. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika. In fact, it is told in the context of creating obstacles in our whatever endeavor we do, whatever we try to do. Because what happens is, whenever we have a goal in life and we are pursuing that goal to get or obtain something, some desired result, there will be obstacles which will prevent us from pursuing our goals. Once that obstacles come, what will happen? We will be not able to pursue our goal, get the desired result, and that will result in dukkha, sorrow. Very simple analysis. And this sorrow, this dukkha, these obstacles, there are three sources or three types of these obstacles. As I said, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika. These three types of obstacles the Shastras talk about. Okay. This Adhyatmika Dukkham is the Dukkham which emanates from one's own body, mind, sense complex. Examples are diseases which afflict us physically, confusion, delusion, mental confusion because of so many things that happen around us. It could be poor understanding of our real self. Many of us have this problem. There is some pain in the body, but we don't know why the pain is happening. Doctors have seen everything, but they are also not able to discover the cause for the pain. So all these things are there. They are all emanating from this body, mind, sense complex. So Adhyatmika Dukkha are these type of dukkhas. Then Adi Bhautika Dukkha is the miseries or sorrow coming from outside, from other jivas, neighbor, give you Adi Bhautika Dukkha, right? Night when you are, or afternoon especially, when you want to take some rest after lunch, you will start some hammering. Adi Bhautika Dukkha, right? And mostly this Adi Bhautika, we may have some control, but not full control over this Adi Bhautika Dukkha. If you want to live a simple, joyful life, you will find 4 people want to spoil it. Always you will find this. For example, now we are all there. It started with some 50 people, now only 30 people are there in this class today. Right? Why 20 people have left? Because they must have told somebody that we are learning Vishnu Sahasranamam Bhashya. So your friends would have told, what nonsense you are doing? Wasting your life like this. Vishnu Sahasranamam, this Sahasranamam and all. What are you going to gain out of all these things? Enjoy your life. Go to clubs, picnics, parties. Travel the world. Don't waste your time in all these things. You are already old. You don't have much time. So enjoy your life. And 20 people will say, yeah, let us enjoy our life. This is what he says is correct. So you had actually come for a dharmic karya. There will be 4 people who want to spoil it. This is all Adi Bhautika business. Okay. Almost time now. We'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Namaste, Guruji. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Any questions you can take it.
Dhanyavadaka, Raghuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Mama,
Thank
I
you,
just
Guruji.
have a doubt. The previous shloka, Dhyayan Stuvan Namastancha Yajamanastameva the meaning ennadu? Yajamanastamevacha.
Yajamanaha tamevacha. That is how you have to split.
Okay.
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 So the Yajamana who does Dhyayan Stuvan Namasyan, Tamevacha, all this go to him. Tam evacha. He is called Yajamana, the person who is performer of this. Whether he is performing this himself or he is performing it through a priest or something, the benefit of that goes to, the phalam of that goes to Tameva, to him only. That is what is the meaning.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other question?
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram. There are no questions. We can close the
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Okay.
Okay.
Namaskaram.
Okay. Hari Om. Thank you very much.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.